And yeah, the stewardess was like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah. Pretty
And
much.
I was crying so much that my response was like,
What does that even mean? Oh my gosh. I thought you were trying to say something.
I was just like like that. Like, I couldn't speak. That's how bad it was.
Welcome to the Asian Soup Podcast.
This is your co-host Jules.
And this is your co-host Rox.
We're the Asian Soup Podcast, your cozy space on the internet where we share and discover real stories.
We chat about a range of topics from mental health, personal growth, TV shows, and much more.
Come sit with us
and get nourished.
Cool. Rox, nice to see you again. How
nice
are
to see you. I'm good, thanks. How are you going?
I'm good. It's a Sunday night. Thanks for the dedication. We both have work tomorrow.
Well, yeah, you have work too, so thank you as well. How have you been lately?
I've been good. I've just been chilling and not much going on. Just really excited about the podcast, I guess. I don't know. It's been keeping me busy in a good way. What about you?
Yeah. I've been good too. Busy with podcasts, busy with kin. We recently just finished Pachinko episode, and Julia also just did a guest host on Curtis's show on the Asian Soup. Oh no, not the Asian Soup podcast. Sorry, Curtis. The InfatuAsian podcast.
InfatuAsian podcast.
So go check it out. Curtis invites Julia to come onto his show, and they chat about the whole show. I don't know, maybe you can give us a little preview or something.
Well, we did an episode on Pachinko as well on Asian Soup, like 2 episodes back. So it was interesting to chat about it with Curtis, and it's always have a blast chatting with him. So
we love him.
Go check it out on his pod.
I'm excited to listen to it. So I guess we'll get cracking onto the topic for today. We're going to be chatting about what it was like living abroad, moving overseas, maybe traveling and just getting out of Australia and what it's like.
Yeah, well, Australia is actually so far from everything except for New Zealand. Our mate
we
New
are
Zealand.
So random, and we're so far, and we're so different to the whole world.
Yeah, well, speaking of New Zealand though, just want to do a quick shout out to our listeners in New Zealand. We have some listeners in New Zealand.
Oh my god,
isn't that crazy?
Hello New Zealand. Hey, we love you.
We love you.
And we're very sorry that there's these jokes about how New Zealand is in Australia, but yeah, New Zealand is so beautiful.
It is so beautiful.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Yeah, we are really far away from the rest of the world, I feel. And traveling is not as easy as it is when you're in the northern hemisphere. For example, if you're in Europe, you can just
fly around. You could drive. You can
drive.
It's so close.
So for us, it actually takes quite a bit of effort, doesn't it, to go somewhere?
Yeah, I think it takes 5 hours to get up to the tip of Australia at the top, right? I don't know, at least 4 to get past the tip. And when I remember going to Hong Kong, halfway would be the Philippines or something, or passing Papua New Guinea. You're that took a while. We're not even there yet. What was it like actually living in Japan, or the area you were in? How did it feel
when I lived in Japan? I think when I lived in Japan, I was living in Sapporo, which is in Hokkaido, the northern part of Japan. And looking back now, I would say it was pretty inaka, which is countryside. It's countryside. Yeah. I mean, there was the CBD, and the CBD is awesome. But I think where I was living, it was pretty suburban. It was definitely a life-changing experience, I would say. Living by myself for the first time. And living in a non-English speaking country where I don't speak the language fluently. And I was also in a long distance relationship.
Oh my God.
With Ryudo.
Yeah.
So we dated for 6 months and then I had to go to Japan for 1 year.
Oh my gosh.
So that was actually hard because
now I feel like I understand your timeline a bit better with Raido. Yeah.
Yeah. So we did long distance and yeah, that was really tricky because he was like my first real boyfriend and we were really close and, you know, yeah, we were so attached during the 6 months. We saw each other.
They're like, and the first 6 months is like the best.
Honeymoon.
Or, you know, like, and then it's even more romanticized and crazy because you're leaving for a whole year. So it's like this huge. Yeah.
Like 3 months in, I'll be like, you know, I have 3 months left.
Yeah. And at the beginning, you're like, I'm leaving next year, so I'm not going to be too serious. And then it just gets progressively more serious. Okay, I sound like I lived through it because I did.
What?
Because
long
at the time, at the same time.
Oh, shit.
And I was also dating someone 6 months before I left. Like, and then, actually maybe like 8 months before I left. And then I left to France and then, it was fucking hard. It was,
God,
and
so
we were,
hard.
21, right?
Okay, so a bit of context.
We were 21.
Bit of context. Rox and I live parallel lives. We did the same like course basically. Like
I did international studies with fashion. Yeah,
I did international studies with communications, and we
same year. Yeah,
we didn't really. We
knew
close.
of each other, but we.
I'll say hello.
Yeah, we'll say hi. I'll see you at the cafe. I remember seeing you at the cafe.
I remember
near the language building, like. Because you know how we have to do classes before we go?
I remember seeing you at the library, which is like the same area.
Yeah, same area.
Yeah, shit. So you guys did long distance.
Yeah.
How hard?
It was so hard. And I was young, like I was just like, I'm an emotional, wreck. I was just an emotional wreck. I would just be crying all the time. Oh my God. I think I was on the flight leaving and full bawling my eyes out. Like
me too.
I was just like streaming down tears. Like, why am I leaving? Like, and then everything while I was there, it almost ruined my experience because I focused so much energy into the relationship and missing that person. And I'm not like, I don't regret anything, but it's just that I was so upset.
Yes. That is so funny that you mentioned that about the plane.
Just crying.
I cry because it's 9 hours.
Yeah.
Right? Because we had to fly to Korea first.
Yeah.
And then Sapporo.
Yeah.
I cried the whole 9 hours.
Yeah.
And I was like sobbing. I was sobbing for 9 hours. I was like, like that. And then the stewardess came to me and she's like,
this is so cute for me to hear because it's like, I see you as a very strong relationship person, but it's so cute to hear that you're full crying.
I was sobbing. Ryder was dying at the airport as well. Aww. My friends told me that after I got on the plane, they saw him, because my friends came to say goodbye and Ryder was there. Yeah. And I think my mum was there too. Yeah. And then when I got on the plane, obviously I can't see how much he's crying, but my friends, even now, they're like,
Ryder was dying.
Like he was like
he died.
Sobbing. And Ryder, he's quite like not serious, but he's like quite reserved.
Yeah.
So I was just like, but on the plane I was just sobbing, and the stewardess was like, "Are you okay?" Yeah, because she probably thought someone died or something serious, right?
Pretty much.
I was crying so much that my response was like, so she's like, "Are you okay?" in Korean. Yeah. And I was like, what
does that even mean? Oh my gosh. I thought you were trying to say something.
I was just like like that. Like, I couldn't speak. That's how bad it was. Oh my God. So funny though. Oh my gosh. And it's just the young love.
Yeah. It's just that stage in life, and it was like your whole world, right?
I mean, if I was going overseas for 1 year now, I would just be like, see ya. Like I would
come visit.
I'd be sad, but I wouldn't be crying for 9 hours.
Yeah, because now you can make plans and fly around. But I think maybe it was because it was a set amount of time. We're students. It's not like we have heaps of money to just like fly back and forth, or you can come with me or anything. Because now if you want to go somewhere and you have a partner, like you might go together, or you might try to make things work, right? Or it's just a totally different stage.
It's so different. And that was just like a whole different
hard
period. Yeah, so you were doing long distance as well. And you know what? When we were there, okay, I don't know about you, but I had a flip phone in Japan. For some freaking reason, Japan was
I had
really
a flip
late.
phone too.
Japan was so late to the iPhone.
Their Japan mobile network is different. It's slightly different to Australia, right?
It's a bit different.
To the rest of the world. At the time, I remember like they had some other...
They use like email.
Yeah.
So it was really hard to send messages. I remember we had Instagram, but even
and
Instagram,
Skype,
that was
Skype.
used.
Like who the hell uses Skype anymore?
But that was our
Skype
communication
and Messenger.
tool. But now I feel like
there's no FaceTime is so easy now. Like WhatsApp call or FaceTime Messenger call. It's so easy.
Even getting data on your phone.
Yeah. Oh my god, date. Oh my god. Because data was really tricky.
Yeah.
And if you call, you basically can't call.
No, you can't.
And you can't just connect to Wi-Fi
you can't.
at a McDonald's or wherever cafe. It's not like that.
No.
You have to go to an internet cafe or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Or you could get like a special plan, but that was like really, really expensive.
Yeah.
In hindsight, I wish I did that.
Yeah.
Because that was really hard, that I could only communicate with Ryoto at home. That's why I was always at home. I was home a lot.
I think I really love checking, like being online, like being at my room and being online.
Yeah.
With the computer.
Yeah.
But that was also the year I traveled with a friend, and when we traveled, we didn't bring our laptops. Like 2011, I traveled in around Europe while I was in France with a Lonely Planet guide.
Like a physical.
Yeah.
Book?
Yeah, and we'd go to internet cafes and adjust our bookings, and then and then in the Lonely Planet guide there'd be the map, and you'd try to map out. And there was Airbnb back then, like there's internet.
Yeah.
And but we just go to use the hotel computer to adjust things, or it was very limited, and we had to like find public transport and figure it out online, but like we know when our flight will end, and then we'll walk following the map on the Lonely Planet guide, because there's no Google Maps when you just have your shitty flip phone. Yeah. And then you can't go anywhere, so you have to have some kind of direction.
Oh my gosh. That is like ancient.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Don't you think? Yeah. There was still internet. Like it's not too ancient, but...
Yeah, it was expensive overseas though. And iPhones, now you just have like the
Google
SIM
Maps
card,
or whatever. Yeah, SIM card. You just get a... Yeah.
Like roaming or something. I mean, that's kind of expensive.
Well, you just get a SIM card and...
That is so funny. You sound like a grandma.
Yeah, I know. Probably.
Remember, like, that reminds me of like... I mean, your grandma, if your grandma.
Well, we're the same age.
Like the directory. You know when like before
Yellow
Google
Pages.
Maps.
Yeah.
No, not Yellow Pages.
Oh, the map. The map book.
Yeah.
Whatever it's called.
They're like this thick, and everyone had it
map.
in the back.
Yeah, and there's
like,
a sleeve.
There's a sleeve.
Car sleeve for it.
And then you would like use that to navigate. And you would like be like, turn left, turn right. Oh, we've come a long way.
Yeah.
In terms of technology.
Yeah.
It's crazy thinking about it.
You know, when the GPS first came out, I resisted it. Like, I would be like, oh, now we're not going to know how to read maps. And it's like, why the hell do we need to know how to read maps?
Gosh.
But why would you need to know?
I had no resistance.
But now I'm like, wow, it's so good. Well, I need it.
You did a whole Euro trip using Lonely Planet, so I can see why.
No, but that was like, I had to. Like,
yeah.
And then when you're in the city, you'll get the local bigger map.
That's so funny.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. It's kind of sad. Like maps don't have as much, importance in our lives, like the physical copy, because like maps are actually really cool.
But it's cool. Like I think it's cool to say that, oh wow, you know, I feel like a grandma, but it is cool to say not everything what, you know, you felt like you were in the moment more. Sometimes I feel like if I could relive that, if I was doing that exchange nowadays, I'd probably be posting everything on Instagram, like, you know, it'd be so different.
So why did you pick Paris? Did you stay in Paris?
No, I didn't stay in Paris. I stayed in a place called Reims.
For a year?
For a year. They pronounce it Reims. I don't know.
Reims.
I don't think I'm pronouncing it properly still. But it was the Champagne region, and it was an hour on the fast train to Paris. So it was close to Paris, but it was also like a kind of country town because it was mainly the champagne vineyards and what they would call the caves, or where they'd store the champagne. So it was very like, it was a champagne town, like farmish, and then the university. And there was like a big private university and a big public one. And then all the local students would go back to their actual homes, like their parents' places on the weekends, which is out of town.
Yeah.
So the people left over in the city, on the mini city on the weekends, were like Irish international students or, you know, a few Chinese international students or just the other international people.
Yeah.
So yeah, that why I chose French. At the time I was studying fashion, and for some reason I thought French would be a cool language that is more associated with fashion and like design, and like, oh, the couture houses are in Paris, and, you know, maybe it's cool to learn French. And yeah, but when I look back, I don't think I think I just chose it because I had to choose something for international studies.
There wasn't like a lot of options. There was like Italy,
Germany, Japan, China. I think there was China.
Yeah, it wasn't like, it was like
Spain.
Handful. Oh yeah, Spain. Yeah.
And then like France, some people went to Switzerland instead, and then some people went to Canada, but I didn't want to go to Canada. Like, I don't know. I thought that was a bit random, but
it's too close to Australia, I feel. Like similar culture.
Yeah. Like they definitely have a French air, like, I don't know, part.
In Canada?
But
Quebec, I think.
Yeah, but yeah, I always thought, going to France and being in Europe would be cool. But in high school I learned German, and I thought German was too hard. And then Japanese, maybe I didn't have enough interest in it. In general, I didn't really want to do international studies.
What? What?
In general.
Wait, did you just pick it because of your
my mom?
UAI?
Yeah, like my mom, like, yeah, because of my UAI, I got because I did art, I got band 6 in art, so I got 5 extra points. And doing fashion and international studies was really high at the time. It's not because you need to be smart. It's because of the scaling and also the demand. There were only like, I don't know, 40, 50 students a year. So you don't actually need to be book smart to do it at all, like to be creative.
But
like,
to get in, yes.
To get into that course, yes.
Yes.
And then my mum was like, oh, I don't want you doing fashion design by itself. Oh. Do that combined degree. It must be higher for a reason. And then she was just like, oh, at least you have another degree, because she was just worried that fashion wasn't enough. But in the end, like, it was unnecessary. Now I'm in bigger HECS debt. Like, it's not, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like that degree, the only good thing was like I traveled that year. That's all.
That's pretty big though.
I guess so. Yeah, because it forced you to go somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And it was also my first time to move out of home. And yeah, it definitely got me out of my shell, I guess.
The HECS debt. So
Yeah.
For our international listeners, in Australia, if you want to go to university, you can... How do you explain it? Like, HECS is like a...
higher education scheme or something? Contribution scheme?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, like, you get money, like a really, really good low interest, basically no interest rate loan.
Yeah. Basically, the government pays for your education first, and then you can pay them back. Yeah.
With a very, very
low interest
rate.
Right.
And it comes out of your salary.
When you earn above a certain amount.
I think it's like 25,000 or something a year. And then if you over that, every pay, you pay HECS like a few hundred.
Yeah. Or if I was smart and didn't spend that money when I was younger, you could make voluntary payments and then just pay it off early, and then you're done.
Yeah. I'll never do that. I'm happy with my debt.
Really?
Yeah, I'd rather, because it's just like something you don't really notice. I know there's still heaps left because I have a double degree as well. You probably have the same debt.
Yeah. No, but I did my master's.
Oh, you just don't look at it.
I've looked at it, but yeah, it's there, and I know that it's a long-term repayment thing that I don't have to think about.
No.
But I do wish that if out of my degrees, like definitely that was probably the most, not that, but I can't say that I regret it because I traveled and met a lot of people.
Yeah, no, but it sounds amazing. So did you get to travel a lot while you were there? Because, you're in France, and where else did you go when you were there?
I traveled all around like Europe. I went to a lot of places with friends or different friends, and I planned different trips with them. I met my best friend, like Lyndall, one of my best friends. So she went to the same city as me. That's why we were so close, because she also dated a guy who's now her husband, right before, like you, like 6 months or 8 months before, and then she went on exchange. So we were both depressed, like together. Not depressed, but like...
Yeah, no, let's be real.
It was depressing. So we were both like crazily missing our partners at the time. And then, we just like bonded over a lot of things and, enjoyed that pain together.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I traveled a lot. I traveled around a lot to countries outside of France, actually, like, Germany, went to Turkey, like I went to, other countries, but then Greece and Spain, but then Italy. Like I can list more, but then I feel like I really wish I traveled in France more. Like I have never been to the south of France. I've never been to like Leung. So it was almost like, hey, like I learned the language while I was there. I should have planned more trips around France. Like now that I look at travel shows and people are like eating all around, like, and I'm like, oh, damn it. Like I should have gone to more places there.
Yeah.
But overall it was a good experience.
If you could live, to wrap up question. Yeah. If you could live anywhere overseas
for a year.
For a year. One, would you do it? And number two, where would you go?
Context, like are we working now or is
whatever
it student? Okay.
Oh no, yeah, like now.
Now.
In your 30s.
Okay, now.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I already told you, but I would want to try New York.
Oh, yeah. Like, you didn't tell me. You did.
I would love to try New York because I've only been there for a few days and I'm going again this year in June for the second time. But the first time I went was only a few days and I felt like it wasn't enough. And I've had friends who've lived there and a couple of friends still living there, and it just sounds like just sounds so cool. And I think a lot of, we were talking about it, a lot of influencers now are YouTubers are moving to New York.
Yeah.
Just seems like the place to be. You know, it's another city that never sleeps. You know, you see streets in there in movies, like everything. It just seems like a very cool place to be.
Yeah. So doable though. You could get a job.
I don't know.
Doing what you're doing now. Have you looked?
No.
You never
I
looked?
feel like I'm done with living overseas.
Yeah.
But I shouldn't say that, but it would be nice if, you know, to dream about it. But I don't have a strong enough desire to go now.
Yeah.
I think. Maybe like 5 years ago, you know? I don't know.
That's interesting you say 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Because
I was going somewhere else 5 years
5 years
ago.
ago, that is when you decided to move to Hong Kong for 4 years.
Yeah, like maybe I should have done that then. But I guess it's never too late. If you really want to do something, you still can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you've lived that. You've lived it out. Living
For now,
abroad.
yeah.
for
I
now.
think so. Yeah. Now it's like adulting time.
Mm-hmm.
How about you? If you could move somewhere now and live overseas for a year, where would you go and why?
I think I always try and think like, how can I work and live there? Not like doing something similar to what I'm doing now. I'd love to like work remotely and be able to live either in I don't know. I think just a cable.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I would love to either live in Seoul in Korea. Like I just want to live there again, or live maybe like New York as well.
Oh, cool. We'd be
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, just because I thought I'm someone who doesn't really need to be in the city. For some reason, I thought I could live in the countryside or in the woods, in a cabin,
Yeah.
as long as there's internet. But after going to Tasmania, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm such a city girl, actually. Like, I love just being in the city.
Yeah.
And being able to come home and have like me time and like, you know, rest and all that. But I do love the hustle and bustle of the city. So yeah, I think maybe New York, maybe Seoul, somewhere where I can meet interesting people.
And yeah, they're both kind of big cities as well.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
should we get nourished?
yeah, let's get nourished in our
Move
next
on to
segment.
our next segment. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's get nourished. Rocks.
Yes.
What do we have here?
So I feel like this soup is kind of similar to last time's soup, but this one in Chinese it's called, well in Cantonese it's called Ching Tang, which is it's like a herbal soup. So there's a lot of different herbs in here. There's like Chinese something lotus root, barley, dried longan, and I put fresh carrot in there and fresh pork bone, and I think it's a bit similar to last time but different. It's a bit more herbal. So yeah, and this is also just had before dinner, and then you have your main rice with dishes afterwards separately.
I think that's so interesting, like that you guys have soup before dinner.
Yeah, it's not like, and it's very interesting that Koreans have it. It's kind of stewy, and you eat it with the dinner. It's different. I feel Cantonese style is different.
We always have soup with the meal.
Like this is part of the meal, but it's just before.
Entree.
Yeah, it's like an entree soup.
Is that from British?
I don't know. No. I think it's a Chinese thing. I don't know why. They do it.
It tastes similar to the one that you made me last time.
Yeah.
What was that one called?
That was also like just a classic pork bone soup, but I feel like that was really that was a bit yummier because it had the apple in it. But this one is a bit more herbal. So there's more different herbs in it, and it's called Ching Leung in Cantonese, which is quite a common like daily soup as well.
It's savory, and it's got like a little tang. Maybe you put some vinegar in.
It might be one of the herbs.
You know what I want to do, because I'm Korean? I just want to add rice to it and then eat it with kimchi.
Yeah, it'd be probably good like that. Well, thanks for listening, and I hope you really enjoyed our, episode about basically our exchange experience and living overseas for the first time. And yeah, it was fun to learn about your experience in Japan and kind of relive those younger days and being sad.
No, it's great chatting about it, and I hope you guys found it interesting. If you have any comments or you want to share any of your stories, please reach out to us on Asian Soup Podcast on Instagram. We're always there. Feel free to DM us or drop a comment. And leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. I don't think we have any at the moment. So be our first reviewer, please.
Yes, please. Well, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye.